Hello, Thunder Nation. We're back, baby. Week 2. We're here. We're ready to roll. Okay, we got a lot lined up today in this show, as you can imagine, because in 2 days, the 2025-26 NBA season begins. 2 days, the Oklahoma City Thunder are playing on opening night on NBC, debuting the new NBC broadcast. In 2 days, the Oklahoma City Thunder will receive the first championship banner to ever be hung inside Paycom Center. In 2 days, the Thunder players, Thunder management, Thunder staff will receive their first ever championship rings. In 2 days, the first day of the rest of this season starts a long grind for all these players, all of us. And I could tell you, I'm never been more excited than I am now for a Thunder season, even more than last year. Because will the Thunder replicate their success? Will they build upon it? What are they going to do? We are going to discuss that today. What do we expect from this Thunder team? What do I think is going to happen? We're going to dive deep into some predictions most people wouldn't dive deep into because you know what? I got guts. I'm not afraid to look back in 6 months and realize I was an idiot. But this is what I'm saying, and I'm going to say it today, okay? So stick around. We got a lot coming your way. As you can imagine, last week, we recapped the whole 18-year Thunder history. Okay, and then we really dug deep into the championship run last season. Today, instead of looking back, we're looking ahead at this next season. What do we think we're going to see? I guess we'll find out. But yeah, we're going to have a lot going on today, a very extensive podcast. We're going to go bang, 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 hit a lot of different things, rapid fire. Okay, so might as well get started, huh? So for the second time ever, I welcome you to the Will to Win show.
God after the gather, the two-step.
DB, those tears are but.
Welcome to Hats Off, everybody. Hats Off, week 2. Oh, that's right. You blew a 3-1 lead! So, welcome to Hot Takes. 2-1. LMAO. We are back, folks. Oh, it is so good to be back in front of this microphone. I missed it. I had that, maybe it's just like, what do you call it? When you're like that first week haze, you're like, man, I want to get back out there, back in front of the mic. So here we are, we're back. I'm so excited. Thank you all if y'all of you are people who are returning from last week, thank you guys. We got to start somewhere, and you guys are real ones for being here today, being here last week. This is quite the journey we're going to start, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So, as we begin today, we got to kind of look back a bit on this past week. It's been a week since I talked to you guys and discuss everything that happened. It was actually a more exciting week than we might have initially anticipated, okay? Preseason basketball wrapped up the other night, Friday night. We started out this week against Milwaukee on Tuesday, okay? Now, I think a lot of people were surprised, potentially, to see the Thunder playing a lot of their starters in this game in the first half, namely Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, okay? And let me tell you, in this little glimpse we saw, this 24-minute glimpse of SGA, it could be one of the best versions of Shai we've ever seen, okay? No missteps at all. I'm sure you all saw that one clip there spamming of Giannis guarding him one possession. But Shai in that first half scored 23 points, and he was so efficient as well. His efficiency was almost remarkable, and we're going to get into that later in the episode. But it was really beautiful to see that from SGA against Milwaukee, namely. And then overall, the team just battled all night long. Obviously, it's preseason, doesn't matter. But I've just seen clips this week as well. Giannis, directing people on the bench. The Bucks take their preseason game seriously, and so does Oklahoma City, because at the end of the day, every time you step onto that court, it matters. Every rep matters. This is an in-game simulation in an NBA arena, in an NBA environment that's going to help you coming around when we play, Milwaukee in whatever month we play them in. I don't know yet. Well, I could look it up, but I'm lazy. But yeah, we'll play Milwaukee at some point, and we'll have been to Fiserv Forum. We will have won a game in Fiserv Forum, even if it's not an official game. So these games matter, okay? How about Cole Anthony for Milwaukee? 21 points off the bench. Wasn't enough, though. 116, 112 win for the Thunder. If you weren't able to watch this game, that's the gist. Okay, but I love the Cole Anthony pickup for Milwaukee. He's dangerous. I'm kind of surprised Orlando didn't want to have him stick around. But he's a good pickup. And honestly, we'll get into this more as the podcast progresses throughout the weeks, I'm sure. But the Eastern Conference is really up in the air, okay? And all summer, we've been hearing names like Orlando's been a big one people have been talking about. Orlando, this is their year to step up and really put the world on notice. This is a new generation of the Orlando Magic, kind of like they were talking about us a few years ago. And I love that. I love the Magic. I think they do have a great future, a good roster. But I think some teams are being forgotten about here. One of them being Milwaukee, and I think a lot of that has to do with the inconsistency surrounding Giannis. Giannis has really been the only consistency on that roster since 2013, and that's honestly a good consistency to have. I've always said Giannis is aside from Cade Cunningham, is my favorite player not on the Thunder in the NBA. I love the way he acts. I like the Bucks overall, and I think there is a route for Milwaukee to come out of the East this year. I think there is a route, and the only reason that could happen is if Giannis is on another level. I'm talking MVP caliber level this year. I mean, he was last year. It's just Jokic and Shea were so much ahead of the pack. But I really see a world in which Giannis has that kind of year with his brothers on the team now. I really think this could be the year that Giannis says, "I'm back." In case you forgot about me and who I am one of the best players in basketball. For years, people were saying I could be the best. And now I feel like I'm kind of being a little disrespected. Okay, and we saw that from Giannis in that preseason game. He had a lot of great moments, and I could see Giannis making some noise this year. I could see a world. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I could see a world in which Giannis goes crazy in the playoffs, and with the help of people like Cole Anthony, we got Kuz, you got Miles Turner, another big pickup for Milwaukee. A lot of pedigree there. Okay, I could see a world where people are sleeping on Milwaukee. Don't sleep on Milwaukee. That's enough about that game. The big one, Denver on Friday night, okay? Once again, our starters got some good first half reps. How about Chet coming in there, picking up 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 stocks, one steal, 1 block. Shea once again on 5 for 5 shooting in the first half, 12 points. Easy money for Shea. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Okay? Shea gets buckets, and if he's able to continue to get buckets without taking many shots, oh my goodness, this league, I mean, they already know they're in trouble because we just won a championship. But my gosh, if he just gets more and more efficient, this is scary for the rest of the league, because that opens up many opportunities for our other guys to develop and grow, which I'm going to discuss. I know this is a very preview-focused episode. That's why I'm kind of introducing these kind of foundational layers of what I'm going to talk about today. Development, efficiency, consistency. We've heard Shea and consistency a lot. Those two words go together like peanut butter and jelly. His whole life is consistent. But now his whole life might just be efficient. He's always been efficient, but this might be, whoo, baby, next level efficiency. And I would love to see it. Welcome to Hats Off, everybody. Hats Off, week 2. Okay, I know you probably weren't expecting that jump scare, a little Hats Off jump scare for you. But yeah, we are back with Hats Off. And today, I'm sure if you've been keeping up with Thunder basketball these past couple days, I'm sure you could guess who it's about to go to. But we'll see if you're right. Okay, we'll see if you're right. So this person, specifically in the game against Denver, had 17 points on 50% shooting. Very nice night for this player. In 20 minutes off the bench, he commanded the offense, took control, really showed some confidence that maybe we're not used to seeing from this particular person. 13 fourth quarter points, taking over, coming back against this Denver Nuggets preseason roster, and got a game-saving block. And I guess we can cue up this video here. Had one of the best plays, maybe the best play, since Casey Wallace's play against the Hornets over the backboard in Thunder preseason history. I mean, maybe those are top 2. I can't name many Thunder preseason plays. I remember when Steven Adams hit a 3. That was awesome. Hartenstein hit a 3 there tonight too, though, which is something I didn't touch on. But hey, congrats to Isaiah Hartenstein. But it's not you, Isaiah. Not yet. not yet. You got to do more than that if you want to be Hats Off Player of the Week, okay? Anyway, this player, we'll cue up the video. Let's watch it together, all right? Here we go. Free throw, no good. Oh my goodness, rebound. How did they not put that in? All right, Usman Jang with a block from Usman Jang. Brooks Bonheiser up the court. Great push from Brooks Bonheiser over Usman. Little step through. Bang! Usman Jang for the win, ladies and gentlemen. That is your Hats Off Player of the Week. I don't care what you do. That's enough for me. If you hit that, if it was, let's say we signed Teo Maladone, bring him back on the roster, okay? He hits one shot, and then we drop him. He hits that shot like that for the win. I don't know why I said Teo Maladone. That's just an example, okay? They hit one shot, do nothing else, come in for 1 minute, hit one shot, and they leave, get dropped. They're my Hats Off Player of the Week. That's just an incredible play. I'm so happy for Ooze. I have been admittedly a doubter of Usman Jang on my page for a couple years now. And that is because when he comes in the game, he hasn't looked ready, and he hasn't looked like he's made many strides. This preseason, we're starting to see a glimpse of what this player could be, okay? That play, hopefully, is a catalyst for him to just, the sky's the limit. Hopefully, that catalyzes him to just go crazy, Ooze. Obviously, we have a great roster, so much depth, and this is just evidence of that. A guy like that can come in and have that kind of game in the preseason and probably not see the floor much. He probably won't, guys. You know, everyone's saying it, give Ooze minutes. I know, and I agree, but whose minutes are we going to take away? Okay? It's a tough conundrum, but I think, hey, if he start, we don't see what goes on behind the scenes in practice. If Ooze starts making waves, he'll get some PT. Best believe. Okay? But yeah, that once again just goes to show the Thunder's depth. And I really hope this isn't the only Hats Off we'll ever give to Usman Jang, because I would love to see more of him. But he has to continue to show confidence. I think there's a lot of room to grow still, because he goes in the court. He's got a pretty nice build, tall, good frame, little lanky, but sometimes he just looks weak. It doesn't look like he wants this. And I would love to see him just go out and just get to the rim and just go try to get buckets. Just look like he's playing physical. But honestly, that may not be his game, you know. And he might get PT and get minutes doing other things. And if he's gonna do things like he did the other night, we'll take it. So, with that being said, hats off to Usman Jang for the first time in OKC, or the Will to Win show. I was going to say OKC Will to Win. That's my Instagram page. The Will to Win show history. Hats off to Usman Jang. Second hats off ever goes to Ooze. Standings right now. 1 for Brooks, 1 for Ooze. Who would have thought that was going to happen? Hey, I believe that. Never a doubt in my mind those were going to be the two who gets the first one. There was many doubts. But hey, we're here. And Usman Jang is the Hats Off Player of the Week. So congrats, Ooze. We are in Whiplash. Hats off. Straight into hot takes. What a start to the episode. I know you all are in shambles right now. Just floored by the turn of events that has taken place on the Will to Win show today. But had to keep you on your toes. Like I said in episode 1, we're going to keep you on your toes here at the Will to Win show. So, welcome to Hot Takes, the part of the show where I give you my most steaming hot takes, okay? You know, hot takes that'll make your mouth water. You'll need some milk to cool it off, okay? Because we are going to have some spicy things here, but also some things I think y'all are going to agree with. This is probably the most extensive hot takes segment I will have ever on this show until maybe next season, because this hot takes is over season predictions. So there could be some cold takes mixed in, but there's going to be some hot takes that maybe sound ambitious, maybe sound pessimistic. We'll let you be the decipherers of that. But let's get started. Okay. And now there's not going to be much structure to this. I'm just going to kind of roll and give you there's a lot of them, a bunch of predictions. Like I said in the start of the episode, we're going to roll with these predictions And there's going to be predictions you might not see anywhere else because I'm going to lay them all out to you, okay? Because I want to look back. It's like if you're at the gas station, right? And you know, let's say the Powerball is at $1 billion, all right? And you want to get that, right? You're going to get, let's say you get one ticket. Most people will just say, here's our final record. Here's what I predict. Our final record is X. Okay, that's buying one lottery ticket. If you buy, let's say 100 lottery tickets, you got a better chance to win, all right? If I give you a bunch of predictions, one of them will hit, and I'll look smart. Maybe my success rate will go down, but better than 0%, 1% is better than 0%. It's all math here on the Will to Win show, guys. We're going to think this out. And here's my season predictions. This is really off vibes, okay? Some stats, but mostly vibes, because my vibe, it sometimes gets me places. If you go to the OKC Thunder Facebook group, they do these every single game night. They do a competition to see who can guess the final score right. The pot, and you get some cards if you get it right, some basketball cards. The pot was really big one time. I went off vibes, guessed the score right, and boom, I won. So, where do we start? Okay, where do we start with these predictions? I think you have to ask this question first to kind of see where you're going to go with this. Do I think this Thunder team can improve upon what they did last year? Because last year was the greatest season in Thunder basketball history. I mentioned last episode that we may never see anything like this again as Thunder fans, and that's for this team to decide if we're going to see anything like that again. I sure hope we do, because that was a lot of fun. I'm going to answer that question with yes. Logically, yes, this Thunder, and it's not just being biased as a Thunder fan and seeing this team grow. I'm not biased. I am biased, but this is not me using my bias, okay? This is logic in my mind. This Thunder team can easily improve, and that should scare the living crap out of any fan of any other team in this league watching this show right now. Because look at this roster. We are still one of the youngest teams in the entire NBA, guys. And then you start picking out names, right? Does Shea still have room to grow? Maybe less than others because he's already so great. But yeah, he can still grow. We seen it in preseason. His efficiency has gone through the roof, okay? Maybe a small serving size there. But Shea has room to grow. Okay, let's keep going down. Let's go to Ooze. Does he have room to grow? Absolutely. We just talked about that. So much room to grow. Aaron Wiggins, room to grow? Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's great. I mean, who knows if he will grow, but there is room to grow. Jay Will, tons of room to grow. These guys have so much untapped potential, and the same coaching staff who's going to really build on that and mesh, and so much retention in this team. Everyone's back except for Dylan Jones and Adam Flagler and Alex Dukas, okay? And they didn't get real minutes. So, this team is the same team, still has the same glue, but you got so much improvement that was probably made over the summer. And I think we're going to see that pretty quickly. Who's really stepping up this year? And I'm going to go into some specific predictions about that. But baseline, yes. I think this Thunder team can improve, and I think they will improve, guys. I think they're going to. Think of it like a graph, okay? Boom. We're going up. Last year, we got got really high on that graph, that mountain, all right? Are we going to, is that the mountain? Can you get higher than a mountaintop? I posted a lot on my page. We reached the mountaintop. We're here. You can't get better than this, right? I think this Thunder team can. But to the moon, baby. We're going up, okay? So we might go down. You never know. And I put down here, I think, and I hate to say this, I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say anything specifically, but it really, I think the only thing that could ever step in this Thunder team's way of being successful is health. Knock on wood, health. Okay? And that's just because in the past we have been plagued a bit by injuries. You've already seen it this year. Thomas Sorber, Nikola Topic, although I don't know if you can call Nikola Topic's injury an injury. Who knows what led to that. But, prayers, once again, weekly, prayers up to Nikola. Hate to see it, man. Hate to see it. Couldn't be me. But yeah, health is going to be big. The Thunder team, I'd love to see them stay healthy this year. Namely, Chet Holmgren. I would love to see him get a full year in. Just for the sake of, obviously we love it for our team, but to see him have that year where he knows he can stay healthy and just not have to have that break in his season would be so nice. So obviously, I'm not saying we're going to get injuries. I'm just saying that would be the one thing that could step in our way, I think, because I think everything else is in our control. And that's the one thing that's never in your control. We saw with Indiana with Halliburton. It sucks. And so we'll just, keep our heads up and pray it doesn't happen. So, regular season. Let's get into the regular season first. NBA Cup. Like I said, we're going to spit these out quickly. Undefeated in group play. I don't think we're losing any of those games. Let's pull up our group real quick. I had it up earlier. NBA Cup, groups, Thunder. Let's see. So we play. Looks like we have the Kings, the Jazz, the Wolves, the Suns. The only one I look at, I'm like, okay, well, who could beat us? Minnesota. And obviously, anyone can win on any given night. Anything can happen. But looking at this straight up, Minnesota is the one where I'm like, okay, maybe we lose. But we're at home. It's a group cup game. I don't see us losing that. So we go undefeated in group play. And then I do think Thunder are going to go win the NBA Cup in Vegas. I think we're the best team in basketball. And there's not much this Thunder team has left to be hungry for. Obviously, there should be. You should always be hungry. But thinking of things they haven't accomplished as a unit, the NBA Cup, I guess, is one of those things where they saw how close they could get to that, but they didn't get it. So I think the motivation for the NBA Cup will be there and be really high, which will be great for the city and great for this team to have them kind of have that motivation. Oh, we haven't gotten here yet. Let's go there and get that. And I think they will. So boom, prediction: Thunder going to win the NBA Cup. You heard it here first. Season's going to go on, guys. I'll get to my wins and loss total in a minute. But let's say we get to All-Star break, right? Obviously, I think Shea is going to get numerous Player of the Months. I mean, I'm not going to put a number on that. I guess I will. Let's say 4. I'll say he gets 4 Player of the Month awards. We'll see if that's right. All-Stars. All right. How many All-Stars are Thunder going to have this year? If they have the season, I think they're going to have Shea will be an All-Star. Shea's going to be an All-Star. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, he is going to be an All-Star. And I think Chet Holmgren is going to be I'm going to say it. Chet Holmgren will make his first All-Star team this year. Because I believe Chet Holmgren is going to stay healthy. And I'm going to say it so much in this segment. Chet Holmgren, you wonder why I picked this jersey to wear today for this show, is because Chet Holmgren is going to make strides. Okay? And if he does what I think he's going to do, the NBA is screwed. Because Chet Holmgren has potential to be a top 10 player in this league. I believe that. And ever since I saw him play for the first time, I believe that in my heart, and I do now more than ever. So, Shea, Dub, Chet, All-Stars. 3 All-Stars. So I'm sure you can see where I'm going with our record if we have 3 All-Stars, right? We're looking at, Vintage Warriors All-Stars, kind of, that kind of. Obviously, we're not going to have 4. You never know, though. Anyone can step up. All-NBA first team. Who will make the All-NBA first team this year? Will we have anybody? I think yes. I think SGA will make the All-NBA first team once again. All-NBA second team. Will we have anyone? Or third team? Which ones? Are we going to have anyone else? I think Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren will both make the All-NBA second team. And you're probably thinking right now, oh my gosh, Will, you're being very ambitious. I have every right to be ambitious and every reason to be ambitious. If you are going to undercut this team, I think you have a good chance of being wrong because this team has literally given us no reason to not believe they're going to do amazing things. Okay? That's just the fact of it. So I want to dive deeper into Jalen Williams' predictions this year for his statistics. I think he's going to average 23 points a game, improve that a bit, 6 assists per game, 6 rebounds a game, 2 steals a game, continue his defensive prowess. I think J-Dub's going to continue to make strides. He's going to show flashes all year of his stardom and is going to cement himself as a star in this league, the perfect co-star. I think he's going to show flashes of Scottie Pippen on both ends. I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it until the wheels fall off. All defensive teams. I think we'll have 3 players on all defensive teams this year. Once again, you're probably thinking, Will, you're being ambitious. All defensive second team, Alex Caruso. I think he's earned every right to be on at least a watch list for that award for that team. Because look at what he did to Jokic. He shut Nikola Jokic down in a Game 7 in the conference semifinals, and he obviously does it every night to anyone you can imagine. Alex Caruso is that guy. I think he'll do enough and get enough notice to make the all-defensive second team. I also think it's time that Lou Dort stops getting disrespected, and he will be, once again, on the all-defensive first team, along with Chet Holmgren. Yes, I think Chet Holmgren has the potential to be an Defensive Player of the Year candidate this year. Okay? And I believe he'll make the all-defensive first team. I will not go as far as to say Chet Holmgren will win Defensive Player of the Year. I think, like we saw in the Rookie of the Year race last year, or not last year, 2 years ago, between Chet and Victor Wembanyama, we're going to see that similar kind of race and tenacity between them as it pertains to the Defensive Player of the Year award, because I think they're both going to be on that level. I think Chet Holmgren is going to average 21 points per game, 3.6 blocks per game. Yes. 11 rebounds per game. And he's going to shoot at a 55% split, okay, from the field. That is what Chet Holmgren is going to do this year in my mind. He is going to insert himself as an elite player on both sides of the ball, not just the defensive end. Chet Holmgren is going to be doing it all this year. Do you remember? Let me remind you of a time, okay? Last season, game 1 at Denver. Chet Holmgren comes in, best player on our roster in that game. First couple of games, he's looking like he was third in the MVP race, okay? Through the first 2 weeks of the season. That is how good he was, and he got hurt, okay? Give him time to get on his feet and get in a groove over the summer, come back. Chet Holmgren could be amazing, and I think he's going to be great. And I do think that the NBA is going to push this Wemby-Chet rivalry this year. You see it, the Christmas Day game. I'll go get into things later, which we might see the Spurs in, okay? I think when you hear the Thunder, you're going to hear the Spurs in a lot of way for the next decade. And that is my long-term prediction. One of them is that the Thunder and the Spurs are going to go hand in hand because the NBA loves that Wemby-Chet narrative. They love it. They eat it up. And I got Fox and Shea, 2 Kentucky guards. You got lots of connections between these two programs in a Christmas Day game. And now, imagine a Defensive Player of the Year heated race. I do think Wemby will edge it out because Victor Wembanyama is incredible, and I could see him just, off the rip having better numbers. I could see that because, obviously he's going to have better numbers than Chet will have to have for his team to be successful because Chet has so many weapons surrounding him. But yeah, I could easily see Chet winning the award too. So I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying I think Wemby will get the deep play. But I think they'll both be first-team candidates, all defensive first-team front court. Lou Dort will also be on there because we all know what Lou Dort does. I don't need to touch on Lou Dort because he's done it for years and he will continue to do it. And he'll only get better offensively. And defensively, he's going to do what he does. And the NBA is starting to recognize how good he is. And I think they will continue to. Okay, let's get into SGA stats this season. I think SGA, statistically, keep in mind the word statistically, is going to take a slight dip. Okay, I think he's going to average between 29 and 30 points per game. I could see him getting up to 31. Obviously, he likes to get his 31 points. That 29 to 31 range, I'm going to go right at 30-ish for points per game, a slight dip from his 32-something last year. 8 assists per game, I think his assist totals are going to go up. He's going to distribute more because look at the weapons surrounding Shea. Shea's a team-first guy, okay? And his assists are going to go up because everyone around him is getting that much better. 4 rebounds a game. And this is my big thing I mentioned earlier with Shea, efficiency. Shea, this Thunder team, I think, is going to be a lot better. They were, maybe not a lot because they were so good, but better than they were last year. And a big reason that's going to happen is because SGA is going to be taking less shots. He's going to be taking better shots to find great shots for his teammates. And he's going to make his shots, and his teammates are going to make their shots. Okay? He's going to distribute and find, and this offense is going to become so much more multifaceted. We saw it in the playoffs last year a lot. We were relying on Shea to get us through these games and these moments. I think a big emphasis point for Mark Dagnall is going to be getting guys who can step up and take over if needed because teams are not going to let Shea beat them. Shea is not going to have the type of offensive dominance that we saw last year. I think he will be just as dominant offensively, but it'll look a little different. Shea is going to show that he is much more layered than a scorer. Okay, and he's going to get. 30 points per game is incredible. Okay, he'll be top 5 in scoring all year for sure. So he's still going to do what he does. I'm just saying that we're going to see him really layer his game and be very technical in how he involves his teammates because teams aren't going to let him win. Okay, and once we get this offense more diversified than it already is, we're going to be really scary. I mean, we're already scary, but imagine everyone gets better. Shea will get them the ball because they're going to get buckets. So with that being said, I think the MVP this year, primarily in part to voter fatigue, will not be Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I think it will be Luka or Jokic. I think Luka is going to have an incredible year. Much as I hate to say it, I hate Luka Doncic. He will be one of the MVP candidates. I think it's his turn. If the NBA rigs it at all, it will be Luka Doncic because they're going to believe it's his turn, and he's going to have an amazing year to bring the Lakers to the height they need to be at because LeBron, let's just face it, he's already out. He's old. He's still a great player. He's old. LeBron's not going to be able to do much alone. Luka's going to have to carry a lot of weight this year. Or Jokic. Jokic is Jokic. A lot of people feel Jokic got robbed. I think that's insane. But Jokic, they're going to want to fuel this narrative even more between Shea and Jokic. But I do think if it was a toss-up between Shea and Jokic, they would give it to Jokic because of photo fatigue. And, that's what's going to happen. It's either going to be, I think they'll be top 3, Shea, Luka, and Jokic, but I don't think it'll go to Shea this year. Like I said, the NBA is not going to let us take everything because the NBA still has to feed their fans. The NBA has never fed us Thunder fans with anything. The Thunder have fed ourselves. The Thunder organization has fed us with a lot. We don't get the help that the Mavs get with getting the number 1 pick thrown to them. We don't get the help the Lakers got with getting Luka Doncic thrown to them. Okay, we don't get that help. The Thunder have earned that help, and I think the NBA hates it. The Thunder have fought as a small market team, fought with everything they have to get everything they have, and they've been so successful. And I think someone up there hates it. Maybe Adam Silver. I don't know. So obviously, some things aren't going to go our way, but I think everything that's in the Thunder's control, which is our on-court performance, is going to go our way because that's what we control, and we're so good, and we're going to be successful. We don't control who wins the MVP. It's media voting. We don't control that. It's easy to rig that, and narratives will take over. With that being said, we can control our record because winning and losing, we can control. The Thunder this season will put up a record 74 wins and 8 losses. They will be the greatest team in history. The Thunder are going to be the greatest team in NBA history in the regular season with 74 wins and 8 losses. Maybe more. You heard it here first. I'm going to die on that hill because let's go through 2 points to justify what some of you might be thinking is absurd. First off, the Thunder won 68 games last year. Chet Holmgren was hurt for over half the season. We were without a big for like 2 months, and we put up 68 wins. Everyone got better. Everyone's healthy, as far as we know, except for Nikola Topic. Prayers up once again. Okay? I have no reason to believe this team can't get at least 6 wins better. That's 6 wins better. That is realistic, and I think the Thunder have as good of a chance as we'll ever see to make another mark in history, beating out the 73-9 Warriors. The talent on this team is absurd. First point, the talent. The talent we had last year all comes back, but got that much better. Nothing more I need to say. And the maturity. I think if you have an immature team that is filled with a bunch of egos, you run the risk of dropping and getting complacent and being content with your last season and thinking, okay, we did it 1 year, and that's all we need, right? I don't see that. Nothing I've seen leads me to believe this Thunder team is backing off. They mention it a ton. We're ready to go, ready to reload and get back to it. It's a new year. No complacency. Look at Alex Caruso's Instagram. He had a caption that literally indicated, let me read it to you. Let's go to Alex Caruso's Instagram real quick. AC Fresh. Shout out. You're getting a free shout out, Alex, for my viewers. AC Fresh 21. Go follow him. Alex Caruso. The other day, he posted, page turned. New season. We're turning the page. Receipts burned on our page. You saw us a lot with a lot of receipts from people disrespecting us all year. The Thunder burn those receipts. We don't care, people say. We're hungry still, right? New chapter, same book. Everything's burned. We're restarting, turning the page. The same story, new chapter. We're starting over, right? Zero complacency seen in that caption. Zero complacency seen throughout training camp. No reason to believe this Thunder can't become the winningest team in regular season history. And I think they're going to win 74 plus. 74 plus. I wanted to say 75. But I dropped it to 74 because I don't know. I just felt like a better number to me. So, rotations. By the end of the season, here's the guys I think will be getting minutes for the playoffs. Our starting lineup will be Shea, Dub, Lou, Chet, Ihart, obviously barring injuries. I think Queso is going to develop into our sixth man. I think I want to go into him specifically. I'm talking about guys who are going to make leaps and strides. Queso Wallace is going to be an amazing player in this league, and he's going to make leaps this year, namely offensively. He's going to become a weapon, okay, from three and getting to the rim. We saw it last year a lot in the postseason. He got to the rim, and he got us buckets in big moments. Alex Caruso, seventh man. Aaron Wiggins will get big minutes, big-time production from him. Jay Will. I think something I've heard a lot of is Isaiah Hartenstein is probably his last year here contractually, right? With all our money we're spending on the big three. Jay Will, everyone's like, okay, we drafted Thomas Sorber to be Ihart's natural replacement. Maybe that's the case. Maybe, yes, Thomas Sorber is going to come in and be that replacement. I know Jalen Williams is undersized-ish for a center in the NBA, but I think Jay Will is hungry to prove that he deserves to be in the conversation, to be the natural heir, to be our starting center on this team, or starting forward, move to center. I mean, Jay Will is going to make leaps this year as well. He got 3 starts last year and 3 triple-doubles. I mean, Jalen Williams, Jay Will, is an incredible player in this league, and he's one of those guys who has a high ceiling. And he's going to continue to show you that he's ready for the moment. Nikola Topic, I think he's going to crack the rotation. We haven't seen much of him, but I think he has the pieces to become a rotational player for this team. Isaiah Joe. Really, Isaiah Joe, if he wants to get, with all this talent we have coming in, Isaiah Joe is, if that 3-point shot, if he can just, Isaiah, you're a good defender. Keep working on your defensive abilities. I know you're a little bit undersized, right? If you can just hit that shot and keep getting it better and better and better, then it's already amazing. Get that shot so deadly. Just come in and shoot, man. Come in and shoot. And I think people get minutes to do that substantially. I think we'll see a lot of Isaiah Joe games like we saw last year. And then Brooks Barnheiser, I think, is going to be that last guy. I'm thinking, okay, Brooks Barnheiser is going to crack that rotation and become a guy we bring in to bring the energy. Not that this team needed more energy, but we got it in Brooks. So be ready for it. And I didn't put Uz on here because I just don't see a world where Uz Monjang is a consistent rotational player for this team. Maybe if we need him. Like if we have injuries start, the one positive thing about an injury is that from anybody, hopefully minor. I mean, obviously there's no good part of an injury. But I'm saying, like, if you look at it that way, guys can step up and you can start to see what they can do and give them more opportunities. And I think that's the moments when Uz would come in. Obviously, I don't want to see that happen at all, so I hope it doesn't happen. But I think Uz is ready for if we need him, but I don't think we do, to be frank. Now, for the NBA playoffs. Here's what I think is going to happen, okay? Like I told you, I'm going all the way till the end. This is my season predictions. The season doesn't end until June, folks. So we're going until late June in this prediction. With a 74-8 record, the greatest record of all time, that likely puts us at the number 1 seed. Would you agree? I think so. So Thunder are the 1 seed. And my predictions: Denver number 2, Scary team right there. The Nuggets gave us trouble last year, and you bring in guys like Cam Johnson. They are looking dangerous. And honestly, I think Denver is our biggest threat. Our second biggest threat, 3 seed. 3 seed. The Houston Rockets, we play them opening night. We're going to get into them more specifically. I think they are and should be considered a threat. And like I've said before, this is a gauntlet. The West is a gauntlet. We're the best team in the West. Obviously, with a 74-8 record, I think we're going to do. We can dominate the West. But my goodness, in a playoff setting, it's a gauntlet, and nothing is going to come easy this season. These 74 wins are more than likely. Most of them are going to have to be hard fought because this West is incredible. So OKC, Denver, Houston, top 3. This is where it gets a little. You start to see the in predictions across the web. You see those 3 interchangeably top 3. Dallas at 4. I do think Dallas is dangerous. Maybe that's my PTSD from 2024. I think Dallas is dangerous. We're going to get a guy like Cooper Flag. Who knows how good he's going to be? I think he'll be great. I think he'll do great things. And I think if Dallas stays healthy, big if. If Dallas can stay healthy, they're a top 5 seed and they're a danger in the West. They're a threat. 5 seed. I mentioned them earlier. The San Antonio Spurs, I think, are going to take a leap. I don't like the Spurs. I don't want to see that, but I think it's going to happen. Wemby is going to take a leap, and the Spurs are going to follow his lead, okay, to the 5 seed. At 6, the Los Angeles Lakers. I do think with injuries this season, they could have trouble. Who knows, though? Who knows? LeBron could go on a tear. They could come up and be top 3 seed. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? I mean, obviously, it's just predictions. But the Lakers, I think, will be a 6 seed. They'll definitely be in the playoffs. 7, I had the Clippers. I do think they'll get there. Harden and Kawhi still have something left in the tank. At 8, Golden State. I think that'll be a fun first-round matchup for us, won't it? I think Jimmy and Steph, once again, these older kind of teams, I think could have, like we've seen in so many years in a row, these older teams kind of end up towards the bottom because they're plagued by injuries, and it's hard to get with the money they're being paid. It's hard to get consistency in the rosters and stuff. And so I think we'll see Golden State scrape in as well. And that is a loaded 8 teams right there, guys. That is a loaded 8 teams. So here's my match. I'll go through this quickly, guys. Round 1 against Golden State, we beat them in 5. The Spurs in round 1, I believe, will take down the Dallas Mavericks. That will be a fun series. That Texas matchup between Dallas and San Antonio, Flag and Wemby. My goodness. I think Wemby is going to have a hell of a year. I think Wemby is going to make strides and become a player even greater than we've seen him be, which is scary. So I think that's our second round. I think the NBA is pushing it. They're pushing it, and they would love to see it. Thunder Spurs, a new rivalry forms. Chet and Wemby. Here we go. Conference semifinals. Spurs Thunder. I think we beat them in 6. I think Wemby has a masterclass this series, similar to what we saw against Jokic in the last conference semifinals. I think Wemby is dangerous. The Spurs are dangerous, and if they beat Dallas, they'll be hot, and they'll be a tough cover, but I think we beat them in 6. Conference finals, other side of that bracket, only thing I'll say, I think Denver comes out of it. Houston scares them. Denver comes out, but honestly, you have those 4 teams, Denver, Houston, Clippers, Golden State. Any of them can come out. It's, like I said, the West is a gauntlet. It's relentless. My whole life, it seems the West has been like so much better than the East. And some years, obviously, there's outliers there. But it's a gauntlet, man. But I think Denver will make it out, and I think they'll be hungry. But I think we'll be in a groove, and I think we beat Denver in 6 this year. I think we'll have them figured out. So, yeah, we beat Denver in 6, and here we are. Back in the NBA Finals. Who comes out of the East? What a question, right? What a question. I couldn't tell you. But I'm going to tell you because this is a prediction video. Like I said, I'm saying things people won't say because I know probably a lot of this is going to be wrong. But if this is right and I guess this team right, oh, I'm getting clipped so hard by myself. I'm going to be so proud of myself in 6 months or so. Or no, if that's finals, I'll be in June. That'll be holy crap. That's 8 months from now. A long time away. It feels like it. It'll go fast, though, guys. We'll be there in a jiffy. Well, I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to stick to it. I think the Milwaukee Bucks will get out of the East. That's right. Giannis is going to have that year, that legacy year. Okay? I'm calling it. I don't know why. I just feel it. But then they're going to hit the brick wall of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder in 5. We are the champions, my friends. 2 years in a row. Those are my predictions. Love it or hate it, you watched. And that is where we are. And now it is time for the weather report. All right, guys, time for our weekly report, weather report. What's the forecast looking like for the week? Thunder forecast. How are we feeling? Big one. A lot to talk about right now in this segment. Week 1. Brutal week 1. 3 games, a gauntlet. 3 nationally televised games. Okay? What does that indicate? The Thunder are finally getting their respect. Love to see it. Thank you, NBA. You're finally giving us some national TV games. I mean, we have a lot this year, and I love it. I can't wait. I guess all it takes to get that recognition for a small market team is winning a championship for you to finally see, oh wait, this team is good. But it finally happened. So thank you, NBA. Game 1 of the season. My goodness, you couldn't have written a better script than what the NBA wrote for this first game. Houston comes into town on Tuesday. 54 hours from now. By the time you're watching it, we may be 3 hours away from the game. My goodness, I am so excited. Oh, I wish I could be there. The 21st, we're going to see, first off, first thing I want to say is, this is the debut of the return of the NBA on NBC. So welcome back, NBA on NBC. We're obviously going to miss TNT, but the way like the commercials they've had for the NBA on NBC, like with the round ball rock and all that, I love it. I love the vibes, and I hope they kind of keep it vintage like that and keep, I hate modernism in sports. Modernism is ruining sports. You see it with the logos being all bland. ESPN's broadcast is a shame. It is such a shame. It's so washed down, watered down, and not special. And TNT really has something going with the way they produce their games, with their jingles and their old school kind of format. And I really hope NBC sees an opportunity to really gain some momentum because basketball fans are looking for a platform to love. And the way, it's everything's so modernized and washed down. People are looking for something vintage to hold on to remind them of the vintage NBA because it feels like the NBA is changing. A lot of people think for the worst. And NBC has an opportunity to kind of steer that in a different direction. And I hope they do. We'll find out for game 1 of the Thunder. That's just great. Opening night, opening game. 6:30 p.m. If you're in that building, get there at gates opening. I mean, get there when those doors open. If you're watching on TV, be in your seats. Have the channel on at 6. This is something Thunder fans maybe 5:30. Be ready to go because this is something we've waited our whole lives to see. A banner. Imagine a banner falling from the rafters that says 2025 NBA champions, guys. We've dreamed that for years, and in 2 days, you won't have to dream any longer. And I cannot wait to celebrate that moment with all of you. So please, I don't know when exactly that'll happen. The game starts at 6:30, so be watching your TV at 6 to see that happen and see these players get their rings. It's going to be a really special, emotional moment as fans, and I can't wait. So we can't talk about this game without mentioning the snake in the room. Ooh, the snake in the room. Who could that be? Mr. Kevin Durant in the house. Man, if you would have told me, I guess, 10 years ago that, wow, Will, one day you're going to see a banner fall from the rafters in Paycom Center, or I guess Chesapeake Energy Arena at the time. You're going to see a banner fall from the Raptors, and Kevin Durant's going to be looking up, crying, watching the banner fall. I would have said, yeah, I believe you, man. Like, Kevin Durant is going to bring us that banner. He's going to bring us that ring. Wrong! Kevin Durant is a snake. And there is nobody else I would rather have see us celebrate in front of. Welcome home. Actually, this is not your home anymore, but for practicality, welcome home, Kevin. Welcome home. Enjoy it, watch it. I hope you're in pain, and deep down, I know it kills you to see this city celebrate something you could never bring us. Kevin Durant had a quote on Twitter after the Thunder won the championship. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. I will read it to you. Finally, it's been 10 years. Man, about time they win one. LMAO. Kevin, first thing I want to say to you is that, my friend, it's been 18 years, okay? 8 of those were spent with you by our side. It was about time we won one, too, right? About time we won one. Let me recall what happened. Oh, that's right. You blew a 3-1 lead. Oh, yeah. You blew a 3-1 lead. Oh, and who'd you blow that lead to? Oh, yeah, the team you're naturally going to join. That same summer. Make it make sense, Kevin. You're the last person who can say anything about that championship because you never got one there. I mean, at least they got one. You got nothing for the city. You did nothing for Oklahoma City to bring us a championship. Sure, you did something. You got the ball rolling, and I respect you for that, and I always will. But the way you left will never be respected, and that is why you feel the need to keep talking about us. We live in your head rent free, and I know it kills you to see us win. But I love it. It kills you, but it makes me so happy, Kevin. So yeah, for you, Kevin, I can't wait to see the game. Also, don't forget Steven Adams is coming home to see it, and this one actually kind of hurts. I would love to have seen Steven get a ring in a Thunder uniform. One day, maybe we'll bring him back, but hopefully he's happy to see it. But yeah, people aren't talking about that. Like, for me, more, this is not Kevin Durant's return. This is Steven Adams' return. This is Steven Adams' homecoming right here, and I hate to see us get the rings in front of him because he deserves one. This Thunder organization. So yeah, shout out to Steven Adams. So we are, as you can see, or it's not listed there. I wrote up there. These are the ESPN percentages to win these certain games. The money lines were not available, but the spread, we are 6.5-point favorites. I believe we are going to win this game. I'll just say it straight up. We'll really get a sense of who these two teams are. I think we know who we are, but it's been a couple months, so things could change. I don't think we'll have to worry. I always think watching these ring ceremonies in the past, and like, how do you do all this celebrating and then like instantly flip the switch and lock in for usually a big time matchup? Usually the opening night is like a good game, and this is a great matchup. Two great teams. So Thunder are not going to be able to celebrate this for too long because past is the past, like Alex Caruso said. Turn the page, new chapter. That's a quick turnaround, though, like in the matter of minutes between rings to let's go play Houston in game 1 of the season. But I'm not worried. I don't think for this team we have a reason to worry because Mark Dagnall will have them under control. They're going to lock in. They know what they need to do, and they're going to do it. They're going to lock in at the right moment, and they're going to get the win. I traditionally hate the Houston Rockets. I told you in my first episode, I'm very opinionated. I speak from a fan's perspective. I don't like the Houston Rockets. I hate them. But I do love Amin Thompson. I think he is a great young player in this league, and he's going to be a star. I hate that he's in Houston because I want to love him, but I have to hate him. He's in Houston. And I love that Houston didn't pick up a point guard after Fred VanVleet's injury because we're going to see Amin Thompson step up, and hopefully he doesn't against us. But I would love to see him have a great year. I'm worried about him. He's an elite defender. He's going to give Shea trouble, or at least make it difficult for Shea on Tuesday. And I think something that's kind of gone under the radar with this Houston team is they have these elite athletic wings in their depth. And two of those are additions this year: Dorian Finney-Smith and Josh Okogie. Those two guys are weapons on any given team. Then you pair them with your other young wings, the Jabari Smith, Tari Eason. It's just an endless list of young wings that are going to come in. And I guess Dorian Finney-Smith and Josh Okogie aren't too young, but like athletic wings that are going to come in and guard. They're going to guard and they're going to do positive things. So Houston, we have a problem in the sense that it won't be an easy win. This team is going to be a tough out any given night. I know I hate on Kevin Durant, but this team, Kevin Durant's a great player. He's an all-time great, and I respect him overall for what he's done on the court throughout his career. Anything else I don't, though, obviously, as you know. But yeah, this team is dangerous, but I do think it's our night. It's going to be a playoff crowd. Loud City is going to be jazzed up. 118-106 Thunder is my prediction. I think Lou holds KD to under 25. I think Lou Dort puts him in the torture chamber. I mean, 25 is still good, though, but I think Lou's going to at least slow KD down and not let him get going in his debut with Houston. I think Amen's going to slow Shea down a bit, but like I said, Shea's going to take great shots and he's going to distribute the rock, and I think he's going to try to show that in Game 1. And I think Chet Holmgren is going to make a statement in Game 1. I think he's going to do what he did against Denver last year. He's going to put up 25 plus, I think even 30 plus. I think he's going to show the world he's here, and he's here for good to really put this league on notice. And I think Chet Holmgren's going to kind of carry us to victory on Tuesday night. Okay, Thursday the 23rd, 6:30 p.m. on ESPN. I'm not used to Thursday night games being ESPN. There's going to be so much things to get used to this year. I hate it. I hate all this streaming crap. Oh, it's going to make me so mad. If I turn on a Thunder game and it's like, old me on Peacock, it's going to make me so mad. Anyway, we'll get into that as we go. But yes, 6:30 p.m. on ESPN on a Thursday night. Finals rematch. Obviously, no Halliburton. But Indiana's going to want blood. They're going to want blood in Game 2. They're going to bring the heat, bring the intensity. Obviously, we know that without Halliburton, they can put up a good fight because they did in Game 7. And I expect a playoff-like atmosphere, playoff-like intensity. I think the Thunder will rise to the occasion once again, but I do expect there to be some adversity in that game. I do expect Indiana to make some runs, make us uncomfortable, which is good. Discomfort brings improvement. Discomfort brings comfort eventually. So, I love it. I love this matchup. I'm glad they did it in week 1 just to get it over with. Good news is, hopefully, after this game, we'll never have to go back to Indiana for a whole calendar year. So that would be incredible. I think, once again, Nimhard and company will slow Shea down. Obviously, they know him better than anybody. I say slow Shea down. Shea's going to get his. But they're not going to let Shea beat them. Because they didn't much. I mean, Game 4, Shea beat them because Shea can overcome and beat anybody he wants to. But Indiana's not going to let that happen if they can help it. And I think Chet and Dub are going to step up. But I also think it's going to be an elite scoring spread in this game. I think we're going to have a lot of guys step up and make plays. I think we could see Isaiah Joe come in and hit shots. I think everyone will have to step up. And obviously, the Thunder team knows what they have to do to beat Indiana because they have done it. But Indiana looks a little different. No Halliburton, no Turner. So, I mean, a lot can change within a couple months, but I do think we're going to see a similar identity of this Indiana team. And I have no doubt that they believe in that locker room that they can go do what they did last year again. Because Indiana, I respect them a lot because they bet on themselves and they follow through. That being said, Thunder win 114-108 in a bit of a dogfight. Lastly, Saturday, the 25th on NBA TV, 6:30 p.m. Easy for you guys to remember this week. 6:30 Tuesday, 6:30 Thursday, 6:30 Saturday. That's what happens when you get those primetime slots, folks. Easy to remember. In Atlanta, do not sleep on it. I call this a gauntlet for a reason. Atlanta is dangerous, and I even consider calling them my team that might get out of the East. Because you have an elite backcourt. You have an elite offensive weapon in Trae Young, and an elite maybe the most elite defensive weapon in Dyson Daniels. From a guard standpoint, you have some elite additions. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, underrated pickup. Kristaps Porzingis, properly rated pickup. And then I'm not going to call it an addition. I'm going to call it a comeback. Jalen Johnson returns from his injury. A weapon. That right there, those 5 guys. Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Johnson. Those are some good dudes. That is a good roster, and up and down, they have guys that are going to make it difficult for the Thunder. Think back to last year, this same time last year. Both teams were 2-0. Atlanta came into OKC. I remember it was a dogfight. J-Dub had like a big, iconic like putback and one to kind of push the Thunder over into a big kind of avalanche run. Like we saw a lot last year. The Thunder kept it close the whole way, and then at the end they ramped up, went on like a huge run and won by 20-30. But I do think it'll be a similar kind of dogfight effect in Atlanta this year. It'll be a close game throughout. I think the Thunder will pull away in the fourth, similar to what they did last year. And I think the Thunder will take about a 124-106 win, about an 18-point win. Hard-fought victory in Atlanta. This week will be exhausting. Those 3 games, I said all 3, dogfight, grind, difficult, adversity. It's not going to be easy. I would hate to see us drop a game this week, but that could easily happen. It's a long season, obviously. I said 74, and I said 74-8 record this year. But obviously that doesn't, that can easily not happen. So, with that being said, hopefully we don't drop one in week 1. But if it does happen, Thunder will adjust. The Thunder will adjust and become better. Losses are wins in many facets. So, what an episode. A little bit longer than normal, probably. That wraps it up. Thank you all for sticking around. And we're here. We just discussed the whole week that's going to come up. These 3 games. I hope you all be watching. Follow my page at OKC_will2win. You can see it right there on Instagram. On Instagram at OKC_will2win. You'll see me throughout the week post game recaps and game highlights, game content. So if you want to see my thoughts as the week progresses, right there. And if you want to see me back here next Sunday at The Will to Win Show, Spotify, YouTube, hit those like buttons, hit that follow, and Spotify, hit that subscribe on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. All of you that are watching, you guys are incredible. You're a start of something. I hope it's something special eventually. So thank you again. Have an incredible week, guys. And Thunder up.